Good day, I trust you are doing well. Welcome to Programming 7313's Portfolio of Evidence Part 2. Part 1 consisted of documentation as well as prototyping for the development of the application. Hence, Part 2, the actual development of the application has started, and my team and I would want to present what we have done thus far. So, we have created this Android budgeting application called Age Finance. Age standing for Achieve Goals Effortlessly. Okay, so we'll be taking through a short demo of this application, showing you all the main features, as well as just a quick walkthrough of the GitHub repository. So let's start up. The user's typical flow is to create or register an account. Next thing that is quite important is selecting a country. At the moment, there's only a few countries to choose from, but this is quite important because it dictates the currency of the entire application. For now, we'll just use ZAR, South African Rands. Okay, and then we will create the account. Now we are in Age Finance. First thing we can see is monthly targets. This prompts the user to enter the minimum amount they want to be saving for goals this month, as well as how much the maximum amount should be that they can spend on their expenses. This resets every month on the 1st. So that's what we're going for here. As soon as this is entered, it turns into a read-only amount. So savings will do, or goals will do 12,000 Rand, and expenses will do 6,000. Save monthly targets, and there we go. This cannot be changed until the next month. And then we've got our progress bars and our progress chart here. As you see, we have gone for a minimal but clean look. So the elements having this blue border, everything else being white, just having good contrast with the cards and so on. At the top here, we have our profile screen, just displaying user information and some settings. Please note that a dark mode of this application is in development and will be coming in part 3. Now, going further into the application, we have our goals page. These are categories for essentially things that the user is saving for. As you can see, we have seeded 2 categories here. The same applies for expenses, 2 categories that are seeded. At the moment, there is no budget allocated to them, but the user can simply edit this grocery category if they so wish, or they can create their own. And choose an icon to go along with it. So there's the budget for groceries, and then you can also edit the budget for transport. Lovely. As you can see, there's full CRUD operations for these cards. Now the ad screen, very simple. We tried to keep this application simple and easy for the user to understand. We have our goals on the left side here, our expenses on the right, and then in the center, where the user's fund will be most of the time. This is where they allocate funds to the specific categories. So let's say the user has started saving for the Tesla Model 3, puts in 2,500 Rands, adds the funds, and then go here. Then you can see 2,500 Rand is saved. However, it's still 0%, obviously because it's not even 1% yet. But we go into home and we can see 20% of our goal minimum for the month has been saved. Our log transactions will all appear here. And you can see the progress chart also updates. Expenses work basically the same way. So just a note as well, we've tried to keep it easy for the user and make it a bit more difficult for the user to make mistakes. Goals and expenses are clearly separate. Okay, let's say the user has purchased some groceries. There's an optional field to upload a receipt. So either go into camera or gallery. Just go into camera for now. And then say the user has spent 2,000 Rands. Transport, 500 Rands. Gardening, 300 Rands. Upload the receipt. Camera again. Add the funds. And then transport once more. Reason I'm doing this, you'll see now. If we go to expenses, now you can see how each of the values have updated, and also take note how the progress bar changes color. As you can see, gardening is at 100%, it's yellow. If we were to overspend on that just by a bit, it turns red, warning the user that it's a problem. So we'll just put in 100 Rand more. As you can see, that is a problem now. Groceries, we're still halfway within our budget, and transport, 66%. Now, each of these categories, the user is able to click onto them and view each logged transaction. We have the time, the date, the amount, and the user is able to enlarge the receipts. Okay, and then each category is able to be filtered from a user selected date range. As I said, you can do this for each category. The same applies for goals. As you can see, we'll just take a quick look back here at our home page, and now the user can easily see how much of his goals are saved as well as expenses. All of the log transactions appear down below. Everything in red is expenses, everything in blue is for goals. Now, another button here is report. This generates a report of all the categories within expenses, even if it gets deleted. As you can see, gardening, transport, and groceries. Same applies here. The user can select the date range to view the total in a specific period. Okay, we'll allocate a bit more funds to this Tesla Model 3. 5,000 rands. As you can see, now it's 1%. View the two transactions. Go back to home, and we can see how everything is updating very nicely. Now, H Finance's gamification element is just demo screen. The whole idea of this is the user enters a custom amount of money within this field, and it's essentially his play around money to see what he's able to buy, what his expenses are, and so on. And if you will have any money left, how much percentage of each item contributes to his total amount here. I'll explain all of it now. So let's say the user has inputted 32,000 Rand. As you can see, you can add a transaction. We'll say lawnmower, for example. This could be a goal. We can put that under a goal. Let's say 10,000 Rands. Here we go. Because it's a goal, it's in blue, as you can see, and it contributes for 31.25% of our total budget. Next up, let's say the user wants to get a laptop, and we will put this under as an expense. There we go. Once again, we can see how much it contributes in red for expenses. Okay, as I said, we have made this dynamically updatable, meaning that the user can change this at any time, and you can see all the values change. Because it's 22,000, it adds up to 22,000, meaning 100% of our budget has been spent. But as soon as we change it, you can see. And this page stays in its state until the user clicks reset or logs out. Before we finish this off, just want to show that the currencies do in fact update for the entire application depending on the region that the user registers from. We'll keep it on USD for now. We'll create the account, and now it's easy to tell that everything is in US dollars. Every goal, the ad screen, the expenses, as well as the demo screen. Okay, as I said, that's about it for what Age Finance currently offers. A fully fledged dark mode will be coming in part 3. It's currently in development, and I'm quite excited for that. I do feel like it will make the application look a lot better. And as I said, this application was developed with my team. So me, Adrian, and Emmanuel. And I want to thank them for their help with this. Next up, just to quickly show you how our GitHub repository looks. Please view the README for all of the application's features and capabilities. Also, feel free to look at the commit history. We have followed professional practice in terms of using pull requests and then merging them into the main branch. And yeah, we have taking care of all the unused feature branches afterwards, automatic delete, so only branch as of right now is main. And I will also just run the GitHub Actions, our workflow, once more, just so that you can see that it does in fact pass all tests. So yeah, this could take a bit of time, so I'll just make this slightly more entertaining. And there we go. Clearly see that all the jobs succeeded. No problems whatsoever. Once again, I just wanted to thank Adrian and Emmanuel for their assistance. Right, I do believe my team and I are quite proud of how H Finance has turned out as of right now. As I said, there are still improvements and such coming for Part 3, which are currently in development. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day further.